It's time for another monthly update. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the dividends I received and the shares that I bought in the month of June. This was a good month, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Simon, and I'm just an ordinary person who's been investing in property since 2005 and in the stock market since 2014. The aim of my channel is to document and share my investing journey, and hopefully to inspire some of you to invest along the way, and to show you that the stock market isn't as risky or as scary as some people might think. What with all the talk of cuts and changes to the state benefits in the UK, it's important more now than ever to be investing. Did you know that the state pension age is due to increase to 67 sometime around 2026? And there's even talks or rumblings of bringing the pension age of 68 forward. The goalposts are forever changing. What about your workplace pension or your private pension that you can't draw on until 10 years before your state pension age? Have you checked to see that you'll have enough private pension to see you through if they do cut the state pension as they seem to be talking about? This is why I'm not leaving it to chance and taking financial matters into my own hands by investing in the stock market. So here's what dividends I received in June in my Trading 212 stocks and shares ISA account. I received dividends from 6 companies, and they were Legal & General, Microsoft, Johnson & Johnson, Realty Income, Alphabet, Google, and PepsiCo. On the 5th of June, I received the biggest single dividend payment for the year so far from Legal & General, ticker symbol LNG, of £58.16. I owned 378.6 shares at the ex-dividend date. That's the qualifying date for which your dividend entitlement is calculated. They paid 15.36 per share, and LNG pay a good yield of 6.85 and pay out twice a year. On the 10th of June, I received £3.70 from Johnson & Johnson, ticker symbol JNJ. That was for owning 4.5 shares, for which they paid $1.10 per share after withholding tax, paid in the US, with a yield of 3.22%. J&J pay out 4 times a year, as do most US stocks. On the 12th of June, Microsoft, ticker symbol MSFT, paid me £1.28. I owned just 2.45 shares, and Microsoft paid 70 cents per share after tax. The yield is low at 0.66%, but there's room for it to grow over time, which gives a better yield on cost. Microsoft pay 4 times a year. Next was the turn of the monthly payer, Realty Income, ticker symbol O, paying £3.40 on the 13th of June for owning 20.2 shares. Here's a fun fact for you. Realty Income has increased its dividend for 30 consecutive years as of 2025. Even more impressively, it has declared 660 consecutive monthly dividends since its inception, earning it the nickname the monthly paying dividend company. This consistency places Realty Income in the elite group of the S&P 500 dividend aristocrats. Thank you, Copilot, for that information. My aim for the year with Realty is to reach £5 per month dividend payment. The yield is currently 5.96%, and they paid out 22 cents per share after tax. On the 16th of June, I received 69p from Alphabet, ticker symbol GOOGL, better known as Google. I owned 5.2 shares, and received 17 cents per share. With a yield of just 0.46%, it's one of the lowest paying yields in my portfolio after Nvidia. But there's room for dividend growth, and I'm not invested in Google for the dividend payout, but more for the potential for growth in the share price. They pay dividends 4 times a year. And lastly, for June, on the 30th, I received £4.39 from PepsiCo with 4.97, almost 5 shares. That's $1.20 per share after tax at a yield of 4.05%. I hold the majority of my shares in a stocks and shares ISA with Trading 212, so I'll never be charged tax on any of my gains, ever. Trading 212 do not charge any commissions, and they pay 4.6% interest on any uninvested money just left sitting in the account. And an account can be opened with just £1. So that was a great total for the month of June of £71.62, up from last year's £53.79. My monthly average for the year is currently £46.40, and the total so far at the halfway mark is £278.41. What would that cover the cost of for you? I don't know about you, but I just got my car insurance renewal for the year, and that was £256. Sorted. If you're finding this at all interesting, please do me a favour and click the thumbs up, and even to subscribe if you're not already, to follow the journey. I'd really appreciate it. I only need 9 more subscribers to make it to the big 100. Let's make it happen. Well, in June, I cashed out £2,000 from my Nvidia holding, which was at £32,000. By the way, at the time of recording this video, it's now back at £33,652 in just a couple of weeks. How else can you make £3,500 in just a couple of weeks by not doing anything? So I reinvested the £2,000 back into my dividend portfolio, and I went on a bit of a shopping spree. Here's a list of what I bought. It's quite a bit, and I can't remember it off the top of my head, so I will be looking down at my computer screen. I bought 1.08 shares of Realty Income, bringing my total to 21.28 shares, and it has a value today of £902.71. I bought 0.26 shares of the Nasdaq 100 ETF, bringing my holding to 1.08 shares with a value today of £902.17. I also bought 5.31 shares of the FTSE All World High Yield ETF with Vanguard, and that brought my shareholding to 18.35 shares with a value of £1,008.22. I bought 2.6 shares of the S&P 500 ETF, bringing my holding to 11.9 shares with a value of £1,031.66. I also bought 1.51 shares of M&G, costing me just £3.88. See, you don't have to have a lot of money to start investing. On top of that, I bought 5.05 shares in Vici Properties, bringing my holding to 39.68 shares at a value of £968.27. Next, it was Altria, where I bought 2.26 more shares, bringing my holding to a value of 21.69 shares, and that is valued at £940.34. I bought 97.81 shares of Legal and General, bringing my total holding to 501.97 shares and a value of £1,243.40. Because they're so cheap, I had to buy more shares of M&G. So I bought 95.82 shares, bringing my total to £146.82, and that's with just a little value of £371.77. I also bought National Grid, 23.81 more shares, bringing my total holding to 84.31, and that's valued at £869.75. Then 5.42 shares of British American Tobacco, ticker symbol BATS, and that brought my shareholding total to 32.64, valued at £1,130.73. I acquired 2.03 more shares of Rio Tinto, bringing my holding in my 212 account to 14.93, and they're valued at £654.11. I have some more Rio Tinto shares in another account, which brings my total holding in Rio Tinto to around £1,000. Then it was a turn of Greencoat UK Wind, where I bought 67.62 shares, bringing my holding to £814.81 and to a value of £984.30. And lastly, to top the month off, I bought 25.52 shares of Legal and General, bringing my total holding to 501 shares, and they're valued at £1,243.40. So that's it for June, and I hope you found it informative and inspiring. Thanks so much for stopping by, and until next time, take care.